Good morning. Welcome to ABC123 Trader. Today is August 3rd, 2020. It's 9:55 in the morning. Let's start taking a look at the NASDAQ futures. Now, what I wanted to do is I'm trying to do an educational video for you in how to actually take a look of the market and how to be in the right side of the trade. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be going through, literally for one instrument, I'm going to be going through, let me see here. I have 6 charts for one instrument. And what I want to do is, in my original plan, when I was doing all my videos in the beginning, I always had to do a top-down approach. And what the top-down approach is you look from a longer time frame and you work your way down to pinpoint a trade. Like, imagine looking at a jet plane from 40,000 or from the ground, and you're seeing it at 40,000 feet. You could see the trajectory of which way the plane is going. But if you're right in front of the plane at the same speed, it just whips by you. So what I want to show you is how I look at the markets. And I've done tons of videos, and I know I pulled them down. I had to pull them down because I forgot to put some risk disclosure, so I'm trying to clean them up and put them back online. But what I want to do is to show from a top-down approach and what I look at in order to pinpoint trades. So let's begin. So the first thing what I want you to do is, and take this with not with a grain of salt, but take this seriously, is the very first chart I want you to take a look at. Let's start at the weekly chart. And the reason why I'm saying take a look at the weekly chart, let's look at our history from this year. Market was going good, and all of a sudden COVID-19, or what Trump calls it, the China virus, it all of a sudden starts crashing hard. Economies closed, governors shutting down, no airports, no businesses, which is, I think, is just totally disgusting for, the mom and pop stores. And then all of a sudden things start turning around, Government starts dumping money in there to hold the economy. And then people are coming back slowly in jobs. And since then, we surpassed our previous high, and we're well beyond it. Now look at this. Fibonacci retracements. I'll go from the tip to the bottom. Well, guess what? We're at 141.2 extension already. So we're actually still, with all that noise, we are still playing within the natural laws of the trading market, just even with Fibonacci's. Now what I have done, let's remove this object here. Drawing objects. Let's remove this object here, Fibonacci retracement. Okay. Now what I have done is, you see these, you'll see 2 lines, but we'll start on the first line here. What I wanted to do is, through week after week, you see how it's going up. I try to touch as many wicks as possible on the trend line, because we went from March till the current day of August of where was actually the low retracement coming down. Basically, I mean, it could be a little deeper. Where are we, where are we touching? So we've touched 1, 2, 3, 4, close to 5, 6 times on our trajectory. If it starts breaking down this way, then we can start looking at this pattern once again. This white, not all the blue, but this flat dotted line are the 2 is the high, which we're getting close to, of 58.50 and 58. 2 weeks in a row. It tapped twice. We're at 35 right now. Now what I want you to take a look at, beginning your bias for trading, is going up. So why are we shorting the market? Why don't we follow the big money? Well, we'll have to sometimes. So for 2 weeks, we would have been looking for selling the market. Okay, so we're almost at the high there. So the next phase, what do you want to do is, let's go down to what I used to show in all my videos, the daily chart. So the daily chart, once again, as you can see, it's going up and it's a bullish run right now. And it's trying to break our dotted line that we put on the weekly chart of 58. So we're 10 points away. Then we start getting into the indicators once again of buy phase, sell phase, buy phase, sell phase. And we're just in about 6 hours, we're going to start going into a buy phase. And as she's wrapping up for it. So we're just going to be hopefully breaking this area. This might be a perfect opportunity for a retracement for today and then go for the second round. We'll find out right away. But as you can see, when you're looking at buy phases and sell phases, when the sell phase kicked in, we had 1, 2, 3, 4 days of a sell-off before the bull run. So how you can use the sell phase, if it's working properly, which it has, those 4 days, and you know it's turning around, if you're a swing trader, you can jump in for this long run here. Because what we're going to do, I'm going to back up one step. If we're a swing trader, we know the market's going up, it's all green. So if the market's going up, we can place our buys with the big money on the daily chart to go green, but we knew the sell phase is in, so we had 4 days for the pullback before we can jump in. There we go, we just broke the new high of the market. Now, what we're going to do from there, we're going to go from that chart to our 15-minute chart, or you can use a 1-hour chart, and see how the market was responding. Then we get a little bit more in depth. What I'm going to do is, there's a little bit of noise here. I wonder if I should turn that off. I'm going to delete a few of these things here. Delete this one too here. There we go. Now, since we have our bias of looking for buying opportunities and it's going up again, what we want to do now is, since we broke the high, but before that, actually I'll back up a step. We're going to be looking at the London session and seeing if there's any breakout patterns, because our bias was on the buy side. We're also going to be looking at what historical market performance was happening. So from 10, so it looks like we might be wrapping up at 10:15. This might be our peak, and then the pull down for the next hour and a half, and then we can jump in and probably take the run again. We'll see what happens. So it's created a new high. So technically speaking, high of 67.75. Well, I have that locked right now. We'll go with 67.75 here. So I'll put it as 67.75. That is the new high. Apply that. Hopefully my charts don't lock up for this. There we go. So now we know this is our ultimate high for the day. Or not for the day, but for forever, I guess, right now. We're breaking records. So we peaked out. It's going to start pulling back 10:15. Now, one thing I want you to really take for day traders, this time, 10 o'clock, is a crucial time. Okay? The first half hour of the market open, very volatile. But it's not, it's volatile such that there's London session and there's New York session, and there's people in the London session and Asian session that are closing their days off, and that's why we have this influx of volume. So there's a correction time, and there are a lot of orders that people close at 10 o'clock from the Asian session and the London session as well. So when at 10 o'clock, I usually call the 10 o'clock is when the trend starts, could be reversing or setting up for the day, the new day again. So it's very critical. So at 10:15, I'll start looking at it to see which way the trend is. But what I'm looking for is, I looked at the weekly chart, bullish. Daily chart, bullish. Currently, bullish, hit a new high. So we can counter trend, and maybe it might go crazy, it might drop, fall right off, but we have support from this London session and this London session. So we can wait for the smart money for it to pull back. And I created dotted lines right here, this blue dotted line, market open price, this dotted line, which is right here, which is connected to an old market open price, so, and with prior close and open. So this might be a really good area for looking for a new entry when it does a pullback, so it can do the run the rest of the day. We will look the sensitivity market at this market open price and be patient, because why are we scalping, you know, $100 here, $100 there, which is okay. But wouldn't it be nice just to let it come down, be patient, drink your coffee, read the newspaper, and let it take off? Now what we're going to do is, on the last two charts, now this is when we get into the pinpoint session. First we looked at weekly, bullish. Then we go to daily, analyze, bullish. So we're looking at the plane getting closer and closer. 6 more hours, long phase, bullish trend. We're punching it up, breaking a new high. Good. Then 15-minute chart, as you can see, she hit the new high. 8 o'clock turn around, pull back time. Let it start, you know, let it start pulling back. Ooh, I made a boo-boo here. I'm on the wrong time frame here. Give me 1 second. I'm not in Mountain Standard. I'm in Eastern Standard, sorry. There we go. So it was right here. Yeah, there we go. So we broke out from this point forward. Okay, but you still see the consolidation, Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to go check the baseline, see how it's reacting. So the baseline, as you can see, she was really tight. This is a 5-minute chart. We're not even at the 1 minute yet. At the 5-minute chart, and you could see this is the area of support and resistance. Let's go like this, where all the dotted lines are. So if I was playing on the 5-minute chart, you could see this is the area for it to take off. We did a retracement back in the cloud, and this was market open price taking off. So it's so volatile. So we know our bias is still going up, and we have a baseline now to say if it does a deep enough retracement, maybe we can get an area from here, or if it does a reversal, which is looking like it's trying to do a reversal, we go again. If we were on a trade early in the day, this would have been our trade ruler. Once we break out to here, first trade was almost $1,000. Okay, now lastly, because this was the market open, everything's settling for the day. Now I'm going to get into this one, and as you can see, we have like I was showing in previous videos, like I use other indicators as well, but I'm trying to keep it as simplified as possible. As you can see, number 2 just activated. I create this kind of an intelligence system for the Bill Williams fractal / Ichimoku / my hybrid as well. So I have Leap Tracker connected to it. I have the Ichimoku fractal system, the Bill Williams system, market open system, swing market analyzer, so we can see where the bullish of the market is right now. And what I'm looking for is I'm still going to be looking for bulls, but I'm going to wait for it to pull down, reset, and I'm going to watch my green bars activate. So basically where it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, number 2 is turning red, and the reason why is the Chico span is starting to turn. That's what's happening right now. Okay, that's exactly what's happening right now. And so we'll have to see what happens. And then when it gets more and more negative, these colors will start turning as well. So now with, oh, the other thing is on the bottom here, as you can see, we're getting a divergence that it's getting weaker. Market's still going up, so you know she's ready to do a turnaround. Momentum is changing, as you can see, but it's still, you know, it's starting to weaken. And these numbers are starting to change. Lastly is all these colors here. I added it last night and I got to finish programming it. What this represents is actually volatility in the market. So how I have it set it for current market conditions, that this is, I put this on ticks. So it's 49 ticks on average moving within, you know, next few bars. So what I want to know, for example, high to low, let's see how many ticks that is. 15.45, okay? So we're expecting, this is how volatile the range is. So if you don't have so you can use this for your risk and reward. Okay, so for average trader, the best colors, because it's so volatile in the morning. See how it was turning green, it was starting to weak up, and then it got really red again. Maybe we have to wait for the yellow to turn to green, gray, or blue, and you can customize these colors. So the green is kind of comfortable enough that you can get your trade set up properly, running in a nice, you know, a nice coasting. Even the gray area. Blue gets really slow. And so right now, because we're in such a high volatile movement, we're moving 40, like currently right now, 45 ticks. I guess 45 ticks average per minute. So that's a $200 swing up or down. You know, I mean, so it could go 200 this way, 200 this way, up and down, up and down. So unless if you're waiting for, you know, a pullback of a 200 and then go for it again, then, you know, you could play that as well. And that's about it. That's what I want to show you. So what I'm looking for is, because we're now at 1%, here is the big pullback. It could do head and shoulder pattern, a pull down. I'm going to wait for probably this momentum to just turn around, and then I'm going to be watching these numbers, because right now we're at 1 and 2 now. 1 and 2 are showing negative. Okay, so the trend is changing right here. This is a critical point. The trend is changing, but I'm not comfortable enough for 1 and 2. I like to see them all turning colors to be very confident in the trade. Means this is early enough that you possibly, this is called, how would I say, the more these change color, the less risk of a trade there is, the more confidence of a trade, and not jumping in too quickly. You could jump in early, but this might just turn green and away we go again. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna watch this. I know I'd rather go for a bullish day, but I need that pullback. And here's our market open price. So give it some time. We're going into the leap tracker. Give it some more time and see if there's resistance points here. And if it is, great. So, and that's about it. Let's I want to see if I'm going to keep this video for a couple more minutes. I want to see if she just breaks down here, and then I can just show you one more thing here. So basically, number 1, the cloud is turning. Number 2, we're below, this is below the price. Number 3, I think, if I recall, if we're above or below the cloud. So we're still above the cloud, that's why it's 3. So because this turned 2, the 2 turned to green is the number must be off, but technically this blue line is above the red candle. It doesn't look like it, but technically, because it's graphical versus or mathematical, is this thing just popped above this price, and that's why it turned green. I'll bet you after next minute this will turn red again, and I don't know if this will turn beige. No, it'll probably still be green if this thing doesn't break through. So we'll just give it a few more seconds so you can understand how the methodology works. Because what we want to do is we're looking at charts and we're always, trying to second guess, when should we jump in? When should we? Is it early enough? Can we get a good run? And then we get frustrated, and then we get knocked out. So basically what we're trying to do, perfect. So basically what this is showing is 1, 2, 3. We're getting into a really negative phase. The number 5 in undecided is, let's take a look, is I think because we are inside the cloud right now and saying just give it, it's giving you a warning saying, just give it some time, until we get out of this cloud, because we're going to hit some support and resistance, and then this thing will clean up. Other than that, if you have any questions, feel free to email me at abc123trader, and I'll be gladly to answer any of your emails. Other than that, just make sure you pinpoint your trades, trade safe, and you guys have a great day. Take care. Bye.